Hello everyone. I think it's Thursday night. Yeah, I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach, and I'm here tonight to show you a delicious dish that is so easy that you're just going to think, why haven't I made this before? And of course, it's healthy. So the name of it is Zucchini Lasagna. So I went ahead and made half of the recipe up like I usually do, just so you could see what it looks like. And this is going to be a delicious meal. And so you start off with, you make up some spaghetti sauce. And I did something different today than I've ever done before. Hey Dolores, I made my spaghetti in the Instant Pot. I was kind of in a hurry and I really didn't want to brown the meat up. You know how you brown the meat with the onion and do all that. So literally I put 3 pounds of hamburger. I put the sauce in there. I buy organic spaghetti sauce, usually Paul Newman, Saccaroni or something like that. My mama made really good spaghetti, but I just never have made it from scratch. And people are like, oh, I can't believe you don't do that. But it's just a quick and easy way, especially when I can find the organic. I cut up a whole onion and put it in there, and I added a can of tomato paste. I just put it all in there and turned it on for about 28 minutes. I went to the grocery store and came back, and there it was ready. So I used a good bit of it for this right here. So I start with the spaghetti sauce. And then I have some mozzarella, and this is how I buy the mozzarella, in a chunk. And then I cut it in strips, and you're gonna see why. And then I actually shred a little bit of it, okay? Now, what I have over here, and you're probably wondering, what is this thing? You know what this is. This is an amaryllis. I just had to show it off. I planted it 4 weeks ago. And it's going to be blooming for Thanksgiving. It's a big red one, so I know, red is a Christmas color. But here's what I did. I put it in this little jar, and this isn't a decorating show. I just want you to know that. But I want to inspire you. I want to inspire you to go get you some of these. They have these at Lowe's and at Walmart. They had them hid at the Walmart in Vidalia, where you go out to the patio section. But anyway, it was trying to tip over, so I bought a candy cane, and I stuck it down in there, and I tied it up with this ribbon. And normally I would tie it up with a red ribbon, but that was just what I had available. And then you just kind of keep water in it. There's not even, I put some clear marbles, and it's gonna really be spectacular next week for Thanksgiving. I'm anxious to see how many blooms it has. I know it's probably at least gonna have 6 big red blooms, so I'm excited to see it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead, so I've sprayed this dish. Now you need to use a deep dish, and that's because you're gonna layer this up, and sometimes they're hard to find. But anyway, I'm just gonna spoon out into the bottom of this pan, and you all know how to make lasagna, but I'm just gonna real quick throw this together so that for those of you that don't, I had never eaten lasagna until I went to college. Okay, so I'm 64, so that was in 1974. And I went to Florida State down in Tallahassee, and there were a lot of Miamians that came up there to school, and so I learned how to make lasagna there. Okay, so I put the spaghetti sauce in, and now I've sliced these zucchini in little slices like this, and you can get a mandolin. You can order it from Amazon, or you can actually slice them yourself. I was fortunate, I had a slicer in the house, and so he was willing to slice them up for me, so they turned out really nice. So I'm gonna layer those here, and I'm actually gonna put one across the end, but I'm gonna need to cut it because it doesn't quite fit. Turn that off. You letting know I'm doing a video? Okay, and so there's that. Now what this is a carton of, the recipe called for ricotta cheese, but I had just bought a big old carton of cottage cheese for that pumpkin delight recipe that I made. So I just used cottage cheese. Honestly, it's a little thick, lumpier texture, but I put it I pulsed it anyway. And then I added a big carton, and I'm going to give you this recipe. So if I don't have your email, you need to give me your email, because I'm going to mail this out in an email either tonight or tomorrow, kind of like I did the pumpkin delight recipe. All right, and then I put about, it calls for about a half a cup of basil, but I couldn't find that much at the store. My basil plant had died. But I put the fresh basil in here, the carton of Parmesan cheese, and 6 eggs. And they were those gorgeous happy eggs. So I'm gonna, if you see those at the store, usually I have eggs from my neighbor who actually has chickens that roam around and eat all the good stuff that chickens eat. But anyway, so I'm gonna put about half of that right there. Yep. And then the next piece is gonna be the cheese. So I'm gonna, you see I've layered it. I'm gonna layer it across all around here. It's gonna be so delicious. And look how pretty it is. It browns up so pretty. Oops. So there we go. Just like that. And just like that. And it's kind of like a puzzle. You want to kind of fill in all the pieces of the puzzle. There we go. All right. And then you come with another layer. Same thing. You start over. And you put your meat, or your sauce, rather. And you just kind of want a thin layer. You don't want a really thick layer. And I'm going to cook this now on 350 for about 45 minutes, because you want those, you want the zucchini to get tender. You don't want them to be, oops. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I might need to split one to go along the edge here. So there you go. That's it. And then I'm going to top that with the rest of this. Just going to kind of pour that along. I don't know about you, but I love this little Pyrex thing. I think it's a batter bowl, but I use it for so many things. So if you don't have one of those, you could probably pick one up at Big Lots or Walmart or wherever you like to do that kind of shopping. Amazon, of course, always has that kind of stuff. And then, okay, so I use my trusty little cheese shredder here to shred up. And I'm going to go ahead, just because I kind of like it to have the meat sauce on the top, I'm going to spoon a little meat sauce across the top, like that. There we go. There may be one little bowl of spaghetti left for somebody. And then I'm going to just sprinkle this shredded mozzarella on the top, and it's going to really brown up pretty. You see how pretty that browned up? Let me take this little thing off. Okay, so one of the reasons I love to get in here and cook with you and for you, I say with you, is because, there you go. And that is ready for the oven and to serve, you know, for a delicious meal. All right, and it's healthy. It's got a lot of good organic ingredients, maybe a few not so organic, but anyway, just delicious. But these zucchini were so good. Okay, so I want to talk to you a minute about my challenge. And some of y'all have already been in the challenge. I didn't know you did a challenge. So I'm a health and life coach, and what I do is I help people learn how to get healthy in their mind and in their body and in their spirit. Every morning at 7:30 I do a devotional, but I also offer these challenges, and they're 90 days. And right now I'm starting one on Monday. And if you are on the fence about it, maybe you're considering it, here's what one of my clients said to me today. She actually said it. She's in her 4th challenge now. She said, I don't call this a diet, what I'm doing. It's how I live now. It's the way I eat. She said, now for Thanksgiving, yep, we're going to have dressing, we're going to have sweet potato pie, we're going to have, but she said, that's one meal. She said, in the past, I would just eat my way through the holidays and gain 15 pounds, 10, 15 pounds. I would feel terrible. I wouldn't know what to do. But you're not going to do that anymore if you join my challenge, especially this time, because we're going to start Monday, and we're going to go through the holidays. And the reason that's so important is because you're going to have the support that you need. So here's what I say. We get to eat healthy. We don't have to. You don't have to. There are things you get to do. You might say, well, I have to go to church. Honestly, the best way to look at that is say, I get to go. I get to love my family. I get to love my husband. I get to go to Bible study. I get to do these things. And here's one of my favorite quotes. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so I would love it if you would message me and let's talk about getting you in this challenge. I've got a few spots left, and I would love to add you. It's a free phone call to talk to me, and you're going to learn a lot. I also have a free webinar that I'm sending out. If you haven't gotten that, it's about a 45-minute webinar. Really, it teaches you why you have fat around the middle, how to get rid of it, and why you have cravings. And at the very end, there's a little piece I do on brain health. Something you may not know is that 2 out of 3 of Alzheimer's victims are women, and now they know that Alzheimer's forms in your 30s and 40s. It just manifests symptoms in your 70s and 80s. So you really need to know what are the proper foods, what are the good foods to eat, and 2 of the top things, actually 3 of the top reasons people have Alzheimer's is stress and poor nutrition. Because when you eat food, it fuels your brain. And if you're starving your brain of the necessary nutrients, and for women, especially estrogen and ketones, if you're starving your brain of that, then your brain's not going to function. So if you have brain fog and you want to know what to do, then message me and let's talk, and I'll offer you a spot in my challenge, or we'll just talk, whatever it is. But I want to help you. I want you to, in 90 days, say, you know what? I know exactly what to do now. I feel I have so much energy. I love the clothes I'm wearing. I'm getting rid of those baggy pants and buying new clothes. So just think about it. How would that feel in February? Instead of starting a diet, you've already done it, and you're actually telling other people about it. So message me, let's get together and talk soon. Have a great night.